him. It's funny. It's so funny. I was chatting with somebody, and then the person worked. Somebody got to look at me and say, "Oh, I have to go to work." Chat line. So me, I wrote back. I forgot about a meeting, and I said I have to go to work. But the problem is, I don't get paid for it. But anyway, then I had
priceless.
to leave. Yeah. Okay. And you tell the premier that you were late because of this. Okay.
I probably will be late, but that's okay.
Sorry. Last night.
Yeah.
That was exciting.
The election in Nova Scotia?
Yeah.
That was absolutely amazing because it wasn't predicted. None of the polls had it. Did you?
Oh yeah, I said he'll win with him. They just
Did
said
you?
that guy Aiken or whatever, Rankin.
Rankin, yeah.
Nah, they just sound like a robot.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, I know Tim Houston. He's a really good guy.
but the way his speech and read this and read that, they all do the same thing. And then next thing you know, he's going to say, "Oh, excuse me, congratulations, Mr. Premier. Oh, I'm the bureaucrat. This is the money. So this, I didn't know what that much." And then
Well,
next thing
governments have quite a cumbersome system for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm surprised they didn't. You survived. They didn't hang you by the balls yesterday.
Yesterday? No. Yesterday was a pretty busy day, but nobody was coming looking to hang me.
No.
No.
So is it a federal issue, the Miramichi Lake?
Miramichi Lake.
And now is it federal or provincial?
Well, as the provincial government we're responsible for invasive species in the waterways, but the federal government controls all the waterways. So about a decade ago, I guess somebody took a 5-gallon bucket and dumped a bunch of smallmouth bass in Miramichi Lake. That's an invasive species.
And we did have, excuse me, go to YouTube, right, Mike Holland, Charles, well, we did discuss this.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
We did have that conversation. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So, somebody dumped a bunch of smallmouth bass in there. We're responsible for invasive species, but the project spent 10 years bouncing around for groups trying to figure out what they wanted to do. It's a federally driven. The control of that water is federal. I mean, the province provides some resources here or there, but that whole initiative is a federally driven.
So
initiative.
why were they going after you?
Well, because people don't understand.
They don't understand.
People don't understand that I don't control the waters in New Brunswick.
You control the wood that's being cut.
Like
really cut.
Listen, way to throw in.
Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's a whole other block.
All the water goes right in the river because there's no buffer zone anymore. It's all clear cut. Okay,
we in the 2020 election, we actually raised it and we said that we wanted to work with the federal government so that we could get more control over our waters, because when something happens, we have to go through such a bureaucracy through the federal government to get action on it. Then what happens is 10 years later goes by and then you get a situation like this.
So what's going to happen here? There's a delay. Why? Were you involved in this?
No, I wasn't involved in any way, shape, or form.
No provincial employees? No.
Well, the conservation officers are up there, but they're under public safety. They're not under DNR.
Oh, that's right.
There was a bunch of people that were reaching out saying DNR, and I was saying, well, if you got an issue with the enforcement that's taking place up there, that's public safety. Like DNR hasn't had the conservation officers
people
for a
don't
few
know
years.
that.
No, and there's a lot of things that people need to be educated. That's why
a lot of people, me and you, had to be educated on issues. Everybody.
Absolutely. Well, actually, I've done more sharing on your blog about what's really taking place than any other media. So I mean,
there's no editing here. That's why.
Exactly. And I love that.
Yeah.
I always have. So it's a project where the federal government has issued the certificates and permits to go in and apply a treatment to the lake and 17.
And that will destroy all the fish, everything, and for the salmon to survive.
What it is it's a compound that stops the gills from working. So if it's a gilled animal, it won't be able to breathe. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's what it is. It doesn't kill.
It's not like a bunch of acid.
No. Now I'm not a biologist, but what I was told, or a chemist, but it's called rotenone, which the base root of it. There were First Nations years ago that used it in its purest form to fish, because if you applied it to a piece of water, the fish can't breathe, so they'll.
So why are they involved in this? Why are the natives involved?
Well, there's the Atlantic Salmon Federation and the federal government. They came to us when I got the job in 2018, and they said that they've got partnerships with the Atlantic Salmon Federation, with certain First Nations, with Miramichi Salmon Association, the federal government, and I guess they've all been working on this for a long time. Yeah, that actually
But it doesn't take. If you have, there's 5 groups of natives, and then suddenly one decides to say, nah, you're not going to do it. There's going to be a protest anyway.
Well, I think that there's some stuff going on with that now. I haven't been involved with that, but there are folks.
But you can't get involved. It has nothing to do with you.
No, I'm not going to.
For once, you got to keep your mouth shut and don't say anything. I mean, it's.
I know.
You're allowed to say something, but you can't.
Well, what we're saying is that.
Isn't it difficult to follow the line? Follow the line.
Well, you know, you got to. It's like a trapeze walker follows a line too, right? You got to be careful. One falls moving, down you go.
One falls, no, move your backbenchers.
Down you go. But what I keep saying, whether it be this or anything, is that the provincial government needs to have more control over the water systems of New Brunswick, and in the event that we see, like last session of the legislature, I passed legislation that said that if we catch you with a bucket full of live fish, we can now charge you. That wasn't on the books before. I met with the federal Minister of Fisheries, Bernadette Jordan, and said that we want to be more involved. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be controlled.
If the provincial government gets involved in waterways, that means the Irvings is going to be involved. So
well, I don't care. I don't care about any of that. But
the Irvings is the government. The Irving is you. So they will control the water. It's nice doing this interview with I had no coffee.
I don't see Irving written anywhere there on my coat.
Excuse me, put down your pack present. Here we go, out of control.
But
I haven't had my coffee. That's why I got no patience.
But no, I'll take that one step further because we're putting in expanded buffers. There's a whole Miramichi cold water protection system that we're putting in place.
Buffer, what, 10 feet?
No. Like
when we're going to go for a drive for the clear cutting?
Well, I mean, we should before the leaves turn. Actually, we should do it when the leaves turn, because then you can really clearly tell hardwood from softwood. But
you focus. Sorry.
But there's an area. Actually, there's an area in the province that we're identifying some sensitive river systems, and we're putting 600-meter buffer zones in place. Like there's
tell
lots.
Tell that to the people. I seen a lady, an 83-year-old. Her husband was a game warden, and she said, "I never seen so much clear cutting, destruction of the forest, so much."
Well, it's not that they haven't seen so much clear cutting; it's the cumulative effect of clear cutting. From we started this in about the 80s, and so like when people talk, when I talk to them for any length of time, I realize that we both agree. Over the course of 40, 50 years, there was a lot cut. So that I can't put those trees back up. All we can do is say, what are we going to do now, going forward?
A lot of forest fires.
Not as many.
How come?
Well, I think you got lightning. You got the dryness. We had more water this year. We have had some forest fires that were.
But there's not a lot.
No.
With all the spraying going on, you'd think the lightning would explode the gas.
You'd think it would blow everything up, and away we go. There'd be nothing left.
I mean, it's everywhere else, but not here.
The environment is controlled by so many different factors. There's no one factor that makes it or breaks it. But I'll tell you what, the forest protection, our forest firefighters. Like they not only are they working here in New Brunswick, we got crews out in BC. Last year we had them in Australia. You know, you take guys like me, and I don't care if anybody listens to me, but when I do say this, I hope everybody listens, is that we got the best out there. We got volunteer firefighters that aren't even paid.
Yeah, I know.
That are standing side by side with our firefighters, and they're doing a damn good job.
What happened to that plane crash?
Don't know.
You don't know.
I got a briefing that it happened.
You're the minister.
Yeah, but I don't want to know or need to know what happened on this, that, or the other thing.
A plane crash near Mount Carlton.
Here's what I wanted to know: is how's the pilot?
Yeah.
My first concern was there anybody hurt? And then we find out that he isn't. And then there's a whole NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board. There's a review that's going to take place. So I'm worried. What?
When did this happen?
Last week, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
It's pretty hush hush.
Oh, I don't think that we're hush hush about it. I like there's a whole public review that's got to take place on that. And
I know. That's federal, right?
Oh yeah.